You're now riding in the back seat with your favorite cousin, Lady Luck, aka the Highway Honey. And baby, this ain't your average podcast. We talking trucking, truth, trauma, transition, and what it really takes to find peace after the pavement. So park that pain, buckle that purpose, and pull up a seat, cause the back seat is wide open and we got room for your story. From 18 wheels to real feels, this is your weekly dose of hustle, healing, and the highway stories. Buckle up, cousin. Let's ride. You ever been rolling so hard that you don't even see the breakdown coming? Well, today we're riding with a survivor. She's a powerhouse behind the wheel, a woman who built a lane solo. And recently, she stared death in the face behind the dash. But you know what queens do? We rebuild our crown.
Dial it up, static fades, real talk in the waves, backseat confessions, life's messy but it plays. Lady Luck spinning beats hot like a flame. Stories hit harder than a runaway train.
Hey, yo, cousin. This episode right here ain't just about trucking. It's about what happens when the road tries to take you out and you live to ride again. Today, we got a guest in the backseat who's no stranger to the grind. She's owned her truck. She's been in the game for about 7 years now. She rides solo and built her name from the concrete up. But recently, life hit her with something that no logbook can prepare you for. A crash that could have ended it all. But she's here, still rolling and still a goddess. Welcome to the backseat with Lady Luck. And today we riding with Val, the trucking goddess. I'm honored to welcome the one and only Val, the trucking goddess, to the mic. Let's talk about the crash, the comeback, and the reclaim, and your power on and off the road. Welcome to the channel, cousin. What's up, Val? What's good?
Here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am honored to have you. What's good? How you been, love?
I've been making it, honey. You know how we do.
Yes, ma'am. Queens ride. We ride, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So
One
today,
monkey don't stop this one.
period. I say that all the time. Today on the backseat, this is a very special episode because not only do we have a goddess in the building, but she is our very first female on the show. Yes. I love a good sister to sister collab, honey. So I have 3 questions for you today. But before we get into these questions, Spooky, I need to chop it up with you because for those of you who don't know, Val the Trucking Goddess, she actually has a YouTube channel herself. And that is actually how we met. And I'm telling you, it's been a vibe ever since. And today I was strolling down my YouTube channel and I just so happened to see one of her videos pop up on my screen. And I was super pumped. Let me tell you, if you hadn't seen it, go check it out. You can find her at Val the Trucking Goddess on YouTube or all platforms. So,
On all platforms.
on all platforms. So, let's get into this episode first of your episode. We're in the back seat, so we can kick it. You my favorite cousin. And we vibing. Just period.
Yeah.
When I say
Okay.
you had a mouthful, hunty, I swear to you, I was looking at that screen the whole time, like, yes, clock the T. She ain't lying. Yeah, period. And you know what's crazy? This is the craziest thing to me is, my journey. A lot of people watch my journey and stuff, and you just never know how many people is going through the same thing. When I saw you and I heard you today speak, I was like, wow, I thought I was the only one going through that shit. I mean, you spoke about,
Yeah.
these were key points that stuck out to me. I'm gonna let you speak in a minute, but I was super pumped, as you can see. The key things that stuck out to me the most were you spoke about how us as owner operators or lease purchase drivers or entrepreneurs, we get dogged, we get talked to crazy by dispatch and all these other little fuck stains. And then you spoke about the transition from getting off the truck going into the real world. And now I just could laugh. All I could do is laugh because it's like you do feel like you're in jail in that truck. For me, I'm
Yeah.
transitioning. So it's hard. I went on my first interview yesterday in over 5 years and
Mhm.
it felt so weird. But tell us
Yeah.
more about, that episode that you spoke on about today. It was you said a mouthful.
Yeah, I was kind of all over the place because
Mm-mm.
I was nervous, but
No,
we're
baby.
gonna get into that and bring some more.
I
But
completely understood everywhere you was going. Every direction you went, I was right behind you. I understood it. And
yeah,
truckers out there who are going through the
yeah, yeah,
similar situation, I promise you, they're gonna understand the lingo as well.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, in the video, I was just speaking about, the accident that I was involved in, which
Which we'll
was,
get into later.
no fault. Yeah, no
Hmm.
fault of my own.
Hmm.
And, before the accident, I had already been going through a lot. But, as women, we try to push through a lot,
Yes.
especially when we have kids and we're the sole provider for everybody in the family. We try to push through a lot.
Yes.
But that near death experience that I experienced just showed me that all the shit that we go through out here on the road
Hmm.
and dealing with, agents, because I was an owner operator
Hmm.
and, I didn't have a dispatcher. I pretty much dispatched myself
Okay.
and pick my own load.
Okay.
But, the agents and stuff, they just talk to you like you crazy
Hmm.
and demand you do this and demand you do that. And it's just crazy. It's just like,
Even
I'm
though you're a
tired of going through
boss.
all of this.
Even though
Yeah,
you're a boss, you own your own truck. You ain't leasing.
exactly. This is my truck. I
Right.
pay for the note. I
Right.
pay for the maintenance. I pay for the fuel. I pay for the death. I pay for everything dealing with this truck. And for
Right.
you to sit here and tell me what I can and cannot do is crazy as hell to me.
Hmm.
And it's just like you deal with that, then
Hmm.
you have an accident, and then it's just you have to deal with all that as well.
Hmm.
And then um, just losing everything and having to start over and living in this real world,
Hmm.
like it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like
It
we
is.
deal with so much. We deal with so much out here on this road,
We do.
and you see things that most people would never see.
Right.
And then when I came home, like I've been home for a month,
Hmm.
and every time I open up my Instagram,
Hmm.
every time I open up my Facebook,
Hmm.
somebody done died in the truck. People
That's
having wrecks, killing
that's
people out here. You know
that's
what I'm saying? People having
that's
health problems
that.
and issues. I know a couple of people that have died
Hmm.
due to diabetes and stuff in
Hmm.
the truck. They
That
don't
right
even know
there.
they have it.
That.
They work so hard,
Hmm.
day in, day out,
That.
countless hours behind their wheel, that they
Hmm.
don't even have time to check on themselves and go to
That.
the doctor and stuff.
That right
And
there.
we risk our lives every day. We risk our health
Yep.
every day,
Yep.
and it's looked over.
Yep.
We risk our home time.
Yep.
We risk spending time with our family. You know how many birthdays of my daughter I have missed?
Listen.
Know how many things that I have missed?
Listen.
Yeah, the money was good,
Hmm.
and I was able to make up for it monetarily,
Hmm.
but that don't mean shit
Nope.
if you're not here to enjoy it with them.
I like to.
And it's just like, don't nobody give a fuck about
They
that.
don't. I like this.
Nobody.
I like to say this all the time. The money can be replaced, but your time can't. And people
Absolutely.
who's not in the industry will never understand how precious that one statement is. I actually did an episode on my, well, not an episode, it was a vlog where I spoke about these very things. And my question to the drivers were, how many times have you missed a doctor's appointment because you was chasing a load? Like it's
Hmm.
what you said, and then something else you said on that episode on your vlog today. You said something about ever since you got out the truck, every time you open up something, social media, turn on the TV, you hear about truckers getting into accidents, killing people, people dying in a truck. I mean, that hit home for me because I swear, ever since I got out that truck, that's all I've been seeing. The big old accident on
Yeah.
I-20 about the dude. running
Mhm.
into that family of 5 or 6 or something like that due to
Mhm.
being fatigued. And that goes back to talk about how these dispatchers, these companies don't give a fuck. And that's not an understatement. They don't care.
Right.
They just want you to get that load from
They
point A to
don't.
point B, and they don't care about anything in between that. And that
No, they
honestly is
don't.
is the reason why so many drivers are, falling asleep behind the whip. They don't. It's just
Tired.
they don't care.
Mm-mm.
I
They
don't know.
don't.
I don't know
They'll
how
run
many
you till you can't run no motherfucking more.
down to the ground. And I'm gonna say the company
Mhm.
because baby, a lot of y'all already know this. Martin, they will run you like a Hebrew slave, honey. And that is not an
Mhm.
understatement. I cannot make this shit up. One thing about me, baby, I don't gotta lie to kick it. I'm gonna give it to you raw, uncut, and unfiltered. And I think that's the reason why I ran into a lot of problems that I ran into because I didn't get on this here internet and sugarcoat this thing. You gonna get it how I got
Mhm.
it, raw and uncut. The fuck,
Mhm.
what you see
Mhm.
is what I saw, and that's what I was getting. And I'm not gonna sit on this internet and lie, but baby, them people will run you like a motherfucking slave. And you,
Yes,
if
they
I'm
will.
lying, I'm flying. You can go down my video on why I left Martin, and you can look at countless comments of different drivers speaking about their experience, which was similar to mine. If I'm lying, I'm
Mhm.
flying. I can't make this shit up.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
crazy. But
Yeah,
let's,
we all go through a lot of similar things out
mhm,
here.
as
Um,
truckers, but
but it's just not. Yeah, it's not being said
right.
and recognized as much as it should be.
Hmm.
And I'm here to bring the light to it.
Let's
Y'all
do
want to,
it.
you truckers out there, y'all want to tell your stories of how everything is good and
Hmm.
everything, but I'm here to tell you why it ain't good and
Let's
what it
go.
would do to you mentally, physically, emotionally.
Let's go. Since you brought that up, let's get into our very first question. So, Val, walk us through the moment. What happened during the accident and what was going through your mind as it unfolded?
Well, I was in Michigan dropping a load, and um, I was um, in the receiver's parking lot.
Hmm.
So in the receiver's parking lot, their parking lot is a little bit tight, but if you know what you're doing, it ain't no thing. You
Right,
feel me?
right.
So they have it to where I was doing a drop and a hook. So I was dropping a loaded trailer
Hmm.
and was supposedly picking up an empty trailer and then going by my business.
Okay,
But I parked. So when you park down there to unhook your loaded, they have you parallel park. So
okay.
you come down this long little alley or whatever, and they got trailers on both sides of the thing, and they back to back. They're not side by side; they back to back.
Oh,
So it was one parking spot on the right, and
okay,
I said it was on the end.
okay.
It was on the end. So I said, okay, I'm gonna park my trailer right here, and then I'm gonna ride around the corner, and I'm gonna pick up my empty, and I'm going on.
Okay.
So I just parked into the space, parallel parked in the space, got in or whatever.
Right.
And I was fixing to, I grabbed the door handle because I was fixing to get ready to get out. But then I looked in that mirror and I seen um, and I can tell you who the hell this is, a Hogan truck driver.
Ooh, not
Okay,
Hogan.
I I see him coming.
Okay.
So like I said, it's so tight. I'm going ahead and handle his business,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I closed my door. I let him come through, and as he was coming through, he was coming up on the side of my trailer, and I'm looking. I'm like, he's a little bit close, but all right, let's see.
Hmm.
So then I'm looking, and the nigga just keeps on
Hmm.
coming.
Val.
I'm coming. He
Uh-oh. You're breaking in and out.
took my whole left. When he got to the airlines of my truck, he smashed in my whole left side of my truck with his trailer because when you
Damn.
come down that alley, you need to you need to give yourself enough room so you don't hit the person on the right. So
Okay.
you need to pull out to the right.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody knows when you pull to the right, that trailer is gonna follow you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So you pull to the right so you can move around me. Then you make that little deep little turn, and then your trailer is going to miss me. And
Right.
this stupid motherfucker didn't do that. He came to that bitch driving a pickup truck that he thought he was driving,
Uh-oh.
okay, a 4 wheel.
Oh, wow.
So he smashed my whole damn truck in,
Damn.
and I ride with my dog. I have a 7 pound chihuahua that rides with me.
Okay.
And, he scared the shit out of me. My dog jumped up in my lap. Like, we just sitting there stunned. I get on my air horn and I blow the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he finally stopped. And when he stops, I'm looking at the trailer top. Tell me why this fool came down there with his cannons all the way to the fucking back.
Mm. Maybe
Okay?
that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. It had that, and then I'm going to tell you the rest. So I'm laying on the air horn. He stops, he gets out, and he looking all astonished, like he didn't know and he didn't see me and whoopty whoopty woo and all it is. So
Okay.
I'm asking him a couple of questions. I'm like, before I ask him the questions, I'm calling him everything but a child of God.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, how long have you been fucking driving?
Mm.
Oh, this is my first week by myself.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
like, what? I'm like, wait a minute, what? And
This
he's like, yeah. I said, well, how long was you in the truck with your trainer? He held his head down and he didn't say anything. He just said,
mm,
this is my first week by myself. So
mm,
immediately I knew what was going on.
right.
So the ambulance came because I'm hurt, but
Mm,
my adrenaline is rushing so much. Like,
yeah.
you really don't feel no pain until later on and shit.
Correct.
Like the ambulance came, they checked me out, they checked my vitals, they wanted to take me, but I was like, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to the dude and we getting our information, the insurance information together. He gives me his driver's license, and why is it on a piece of paper?
Oh, the driver's
It's on a piece.
license?
Yeah, it's on a piece of paper. Now, when you first get your license, they give you a
Oh,
piece of paper,
so he
a
was
temporary joint till you get your hard
he
copy, right?
fresh out of school
Fresh,
or
fresh.
out
Now
of
this happened.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this happened June 2nd. I look
Okay.
at the date he received his license. It was May 27th.
He hadn't
My
even.
nigga, you
Okay.
ain't even had your license for a whole week, my nigga.
Damn. Damn.
What the fuck?
Mm, mm, mm.
So yeah, I say all of that to say that this was a rookie. He hadn't even been on a truck with a trainer. The nigga got his license out of a Cracker Jack box, and they was like, "Oh, you got your license? Let's give
Mhm.
you a truck
Mm. Which
and put him
which
on the damn truck and send him on by his way."
which brings me to the topic of I remember it was something going on in the headlines about people buying fake CDL. They was giving away fake CDLs or something to the nature. Like you could, like a Cracker Jack box, you can buy a
Yeah,
CDL off of some
yeah,
random. I can't.
no, because
Don't.
we from the old school. Back in the day, the
Hmm.
Cracker Jack boxes they came
Yes.
in 3 packs.
Yes.
And then when you open up that
It's
joint,
a
they
little
got a little paper
surprise.
on the inside. That's
Yeah.
that's the license that they
Yeah.
give it out. Oh, you get a
Yeah.
prize. You get a
Yeah.
prize. You get a prize.
That is funny because, like I said, they was giving them shits out, and that's crazy. And
Yeah.
that's a whole nother topic about the new drivers because okay, so I'm gonna just be as respectful as I can be. I did my very first episode with my guy Prince.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke a little bit about the new drivers, and baby, he had no filter. He said all disrespect to the new drivers, but I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
respect for the new drivers because we all had to start somewhere. But
Absolutely.
the training, honey, the training,
The way they're doing it
the way
now
they,
is
baby, the whole
totally different
it's the
than
whole
what they did when we
industry.
started.
Yeah. I started in 2015. When did you start?
2018.
Okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
around the same era, honey, and it ain't too much change in that time. I
Mm-hmm.
I would say things started to change. Well, I got out of the truck in 2020 and I was out for
Mm-hmm.
3 years. So I don't know what was going on in those 3 years. So when would
Mm-hmm.
you say you think the industry started to do that major shift? Was it before the pandemic or after?
But it was definitely after the pandemic. I'll say the pandemic really started in 2020.
Okay.
I'll say like 2021 era,
Okay.
2022 era,
Okay. That's when
when
shit hit the fan.
they had a plethora supply of loads and
Mm,
air quote supposedly didn't have enough drivers, this is when they started to be a little bit more lenient
Mm.
on giving these drivers whatchamacallit,
Yeah.
a CDL.
Yeah.
Because I can vaguely remember them passing a law like around that time to where your ass could get a CDL at 18 instead of 21.
Oh
Like it used
damn.
to be 20, you had to be 21. But around that time, it was like, you know what, fuck it. You 18, my nigga, you gonna get a CDL. What's up? Come on,
Damn.
we got training for you.
That's crazy because when I first started in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
it was a process, honey. And then after you
Oh
got that CDL, it used to be your first 2 years was hell. I'm
yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
even going to sugarcoat. It used to be you had to at least have 2 years experience to get a decent trucking job. Your first 2 years was fucking hell. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
when I came back, it was you only had to have at least um 3 to 6 months within the last
Experience.
year or something like that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
it
It was
didn't use.
like that. Yeah, it was like that when I first came in. I mean, cut you off, but
No, you
when I
got.
first came in 2018, my process was extensive. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to school. First
Yep.
of all, I had to get my permit before I
before you
came.
before you even touch, well, when I went, not
Yeah,
to cut you
before we
off, when
yeah.
I went to school, you had to do classwork, um and that was to get the permit. You couldn't even go out on the yard and touch a truck until you got your permit. You couldn't even get
Yeah.
in the motherfucker and do the straight backs
Mhm.
or anything
Mhm.
without that permit. You had to do that first, and that took a good week or two. It was pretty
Yeah.
extensive.
And it was just like that when I came in, except for like they was a little bit more lenient. So they was like, okay, either you get it before you come, or you can get it you here. But if you get it before you come, you still gonna be in the class with the rest of them
Right.
niggas.
Right. See, they gave y'all the
Because
option
when
to
I
get it.
got my shit, I went through it. I did my little CDL prep, all the little
Yeah.
apps and shit, and I got
Yeah.
my shit. And
Hmm.
then when I went to the school or whatever, I pretty much was just sitting there the whole week while everybody else who didn't have their CDL permit,
Practice to
they
get
was
theirs.
learning and taking
Hmm.
their tests and all that stuff. So I pretty much was like one of the teachers' helpers. Like if people had questions or whatever, or
Yeah.
they needed help, they would use me to help them because I already had it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. So, do
Mm-hmm.
you mind telling us what school you went to?
So when I first started trucking, I went to a company called Rail, and that's
Oh,
out of Gary, Indiana. They out of like Marshfield, Wisconsin, whatever. But I went to Gary, Indiana. The company is called Rail, and you see it on the road as Duff is ROEHL.
HL. That's what I was gonna
So I
ask you.
went, yeah,
Okay.
I went there because they had a thing to where they paid you $500 a week
Mm.
to train and get your
Oh.
CDL. So I was like, well, shit, I ain't got no money. Let me
Okay.
go to this motherfucker. And you gonna pay me to get my shit,
And
honey?
shit,
I'm in here.
clock the T.
Yeah. So I went there, and because they pay you such a good fee to come, they want you to grasp it like this. You know what I'm saying? They
Um.
want you to grab it like first week you need to be knowing how to do this. Second week
Yeah.
you know how to do this. Third week nigga we testing you out, we get in the truck type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And I was not grasping it at
Mm.
the pace that they wanted me to. So I was there for like 3 weeks,
Hmm.
and they pulled me to the side and they was like, "Hey man, like you learning it, you just not learning it the way we want you to learn it, and we want you to go get your CDL somewhere else. But then once you get your CDL somewhere else, you can come back here and we'll give you a job like boom boom bam." So it
Oh,
was just pretty much a way for them to stop paying my ass.
you're right.
And so I at that point I went to Swift. I went
Hmm.
to Swift Academy out here in Georgia or whatever,
Okay.
and that's where I ended up getting my license from.
Okay.
Yeah, Swift Academy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, mine was slightly different. I went to a school called Celadon Trucking. They are no
Mm-hmm.
longer operating. They're shut down. Thank God, honey. Because they
Yeah, I heard
remind
of
me a lot of Welfare Express, aka Western Express, for y'all who don't know. But yeah, honey,
them.
they was a piece of work. But
Mhm.
they were out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And I was like
Mhm.
you, I was in the financial bind, honey. My dad drove trucks. He was like, "You want to
Mhm.
drive truck?" I always had my license. I always liked to drive. I always had a passion to drive. But trucking
Mhm.
was never like a passion. Like, "Ooh, when I grow up, I want to be a truck driver." Like it was
Right.
never like that. So I was
Right.
effed up, and he was like, "You want to drive truck? They flying folks out, and it's free for the truck." And all I heard was free. And baby, we love a good
Right.
free 99, honey. Which did
Okay.
not end up happening that way. It was not free. They just advertised it to be free, but they flew me out, and I went to the school, and I stayed there for approximately like 6 weeks. And
Mhm.
they didn't pay us though. That was the only thing.
Mhm.
They did not pay
Mhm.
us. um, After you get your permit and you get ready to test out, at the time, they would send you to a location where Snyder would test you out. You wasn't in a
Mhm.
Snyder truck, but it was like Snyder was like head like over it or something. I'm not for sure. They would take you
Mhm.
on your road test and stuff like that. They didn't pay us. They did put us. They had like it was like a college. They had like a
Mhm.
dorm. They had like a dorm set up, and then the people. It was an overflow of people. So the people who couldn't fit in the dorm, they would send us to the Quality Inn, I think it's called.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
baby, when I say them was some of the best times of my life, I met some
Girl.
of the most coolest people. It used to be a
Mhm.
fucking party every day in that hotel, man. We used to
Yeah.
walk down the street because nobody had no cars for real. Like maybe one or
Yeah.
two had a car that they drove from where they came from that was close in the
Where it
area.
came from.
Yes, but we would
Mhm.
walk to the little local Walmart, get the bottles of liquor. At this time, we was on Fireball. Oh my God.
Mhm.
We used to have so much fun. But that's neither here nor there. Before we get too far off topic, let's dive into our next question. So the next
Mhm.
question for me is, a lot of drivers don't talk about what happens after the accident, physically, mentally, financially. What did
Mhm.
the healing process look like for you?
Well, we still healing. After everything was said and done, I pretty much was like in a shock. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got home and, just that's when my body started to deteriorate. And I just was like, wait a minute, my damn neck hurt. My fucking back hurt.
Okay.
Nigga, this shit wasn't hurting before.
Okay.
So, I hit up my insurance company. Of course, they know what was going on, and they like, okay, well, we're gonna set you up with what you need to do and all of that. So, I'm going through those processes medically and getting myself back in order,
Okay.
um, in that aspect. But just sitting here, not having nothing to do, and
Hmm.
visiting doctors day in and day out,
Hmm.
it's costly. You still have bills to pay. You have
Correct.
rent to pay. You
Correct.
have cars. Like you just have your regular schmegular stuff that you have to pay with no income coming in. So
Life.
now you're thinking about that, and you
Hmm.
get on the internet, or
Hmm.
me. I'm old school. I just turned 40 on Sunday. So
Oh,
I'm old
congrats.
school.
Happy
So the
birthday,
first
Bookie.
thing I thought, I started going around to different places, grocery stores and,
Yeah.
Walmart and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, yo, y'all hiring? And
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, you got to go online and
Girl,
and I'm just looking
you
like, wait a
sound like
minute, what?
me.
Nigga,
I,
I'm not used to this
oh
shit.
my
I'm just
God.
used to calling a nigga and
Y-
they be like, oh, you got this credential? All right,
You,
we'll give you a
you
wheelchair for
sound
orientation.
like
Like, I'm just
me.
like
I
laughing in the
swear.
car.
You sound like me. I swear I've been struggling. I've been off the truck
Yeah,
for a good 3 weeks now, and I've been sad every day. I've been sometimes I be up, sometimes I be down, but I be like, man, this is an adjustment. When you
it really
drip,
is.
for me, it was an adjustment on multiple different levels. For me, it was the money.
Mhm.
You get used to making a certain amount of money, and you're like,
Yeah,
I gotta make this, or I ain't fucking with it. But these
yeah.
regular 9 to 5s is not paying, especially in the South. I'm in Georgia as well,
Mhm.
so it's like
Mhm.
they not paying what you think, and it's like
No, they
the
not.
the
They not.
money. the munions for
Yeah.
me, I'm like, I gotta get used to, going downgrading, downsizing to something that I'm
Yeah.
not used to. And then I'm like you on your episode where you said, shit, I don't grew out of liking people. Shit, I
Yeah.
don't I don't like
Now you got to interview with people,
yes.
all this shit, and I don't
I'm
like you.
like,
Nigga, why
oh,
you staring at me? Why
okay.
you asking me
All
so
these
much
fucking questions.
questions?
I went on my very first interview yesterday and I was like, listen, all these fucking questions is blowing the fuck out of me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, I do need a job, so let me calm myself down. But man, the
Yeah.
trucking world is definitely a different beast. It's like you said, it's like being in the service. You like when you come back, you're like,
Yeah.
damn, I'm a civilian now. I'm a regular
Yeah.
person.
You out of touch.
Yeah, you get
You out of
used to
touch with
driving
the
a
world.
regular vehicle. You get used to walking, going to regular restaurants and going grocery shopping and doing what
Mm-hmm.
regular people do again. And it's like, damn, what the fuck was I
Yeah.
was locked in a jail cell and you said something else too. The truck is
Yeah.
smaller than a jail cell. So it's like
It is.
you get out of
Yeah.
touch of normal, regular people things, which I find
Yeah.
that is mind blowing.
Yeah. It's a struggle,
It
man, but
is.
um I'm determined to learn that shit over again,
You
bro.
got to.
Like I'm just determined because that truck, man, like I can't, I just can't no more. I don't get me wrong, man. I love what I do and I
Mhm.
love what I did. I
Mhm.
sacrificed so much to
Mhm.
get a CDL
Mhm.
and to do the things that I was doing and make the money that I was making. But at this point of my life, while I, am at midlife now, I just turned 40
Happy
and
birthday. Belated?
it, it,
Belated
it,
birthday.
it it's not trucking ain't trucking no more.
Right.
It's not trucking anymore. It's not
Right.
the same. And
Right.
it's not worth me dying for. I'm not gonna
Period.
be the next motherfucker they find up in the truck dead
That was my
because of
biggest
this
fear.
and because of that and health issues and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Or
And the average lifespan of a truck driver is only like fucking 59, 60 or some
and you
shit.
but listen, this be the thing, and I get a lot of shade from men, but shouts out to the ones who support me and my movement. But I get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shade from these men, and they be salty. We got two things
Mm-hmm.
running against us. We are a
Mm-hmm.
female, and we are
Mm-hmm.
b a African American female. They
Mm-hmm.
don't like to see us get on a level. So I
Mm-hmm.
caught a lot of shade, and I'm sure you have as well. But that be the first thing they say is some bullshit about some dumb shit like, why are you in the truck?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be here. You're not, they will never come out their mouth and say that, but their attitude,
Mm-hmm.
their demeanor, and you don't know who's plotting on you, who's watching you when you out there on that
Absolutely.
road. And safety first for me. Like you gotta
Mm-hmm.
make sure you keep your head on swivel because you just never know who just hates you for you just existing. Like just because you're
Yeah.
on their level and you're doing what they don't like that. And I got a
Yeah.
lot of people call me a steering wheel holder and this and that. And the biggest flex for them is, oh, I've been driving for 20 years. I've been driving for 30 years and 50 years. I used to be like, Bookie, I feel bad for you, to be honest. That's
Yeah. That's
not
not
a
a flex.
flex to say you
Mm-mm.
invested this much of your time in this funky ass truck, knowing what this
Yeah.
thing can do to you. It's a beast and it would tear you alive if you're not careful. That's not a flex
Absolutely.
for all you men out there who think that that's a flex to say. I really feel bad for you. You missed out on
Yeah.
birthdays, holidays, first steps, freaking
Mm-hmm.
anniversaries, special
Mm-hmm.
moments just to chase
Mm-hmm.
a dollar. That's not a flex. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, and the last one probably to tell you that ain't a motherfucking flex. Sorry about it all.
Absolutely.
Uh uh.
Absolutely is not.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely is not.
Hell
And
no.
and and me saying that I was gonna give this trucking shit 10 years.
Yeah.
I said, okay, all right, I'm still a little young.
Yeah.
10 years, you know what I'm saying? I would have, I think that would have sufficed for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But the way this shit going, man, fuck that goddamn truck.
Listen.
I don't even want to give you 10 years, nigga. You best be happy you got them seven.
Okay. It'll chew you up. It does a lot to your mental,
Like, fuck no.
your
Mm-mm.
physical, your your emotional state. You said this as well. Like everything you were saying in that video, I can relate to. And I've been saying this on my channel for at least the past 6 months, how I was losing myself. And when I say
Mhm.
that, baby, I went to jail. I blacked out.
Okay.
Mentally, I was checked out. Like, and people be like, "Oh, you left the truck and no, come back and you." I had one motherfucker tell me I can't keep a job, but bitch,
Oh
you not in
wow.
my shoes. You don't know the things that I
Mm.
go through on a daily basis. And let me tell you one thing. Not only do you deal with the stress of being in a truck as a truck driver, I had a double whammy. You can understand because you are also a content creator. You not only deal with
Mhm.
the bullshit with dispatch, you deal with the bullshit on the road from these bed bugs who can't drive. You also click on
Mhm.
your phone and go through your channel and you constantly got assholes
Hmm.
trolling you, trying to tear you down with the negative comments just for you existing. Talk, try to tear you down about your content, your story, everything, your existence. Okay, so all of
Mhm.
that, put all of that in a pot and try
Mhm.
to carry that. And I carry
Mhm.
weight on a daily basis that people couldn't even fucking fathom. Like,
No.
people always got something to say, but I
Oh
promise
yeah.
you, you wouldn't even last a mile in my shoes, even if you try. Okay,
I'm trying to
this
tell
shit gets heavy. And imagine
you. Mhm.
still trying to carry on and still trying to be positive, still try to feed your energy out to the world and smile and be happy when you're falling
Mhm.
apart in the inside. I had got
Mhm.
to a point where I felt like I was experiencing some form of anxiety, and I'm very
Mhm.
healthy. I'm not one to claim depression and I'm sad and I'm broke, because what you speak is what you are is what you attract. You put those things out there, it comes back to you. But I don't like to
Mhm.
claim those things. But I felt myself being angry a lot, cursing a lot, on the edge of my
Mhm.
seat, ready to pop off at anybody. I'm always on
Yep.
defense mode. I'm ready to chew anybody ass up. And you know what?
Mhm.
Honestly, I ended up in jail January 6th. I talked about this on my on my very first episode, how I felt like the
Mhm.
truck was chewing me up. It was swallowing me. My
Yeah.
peace. I was so miserable. I would wake up so miserable and just like out of
Mhm.
touch with the world, and everything was just like, what are you doing? You're losing yourself.
You're losing yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I
when
can
you
attest
talk
to
and
that.
you spoke to about what you spoke on today, I was like, damn, I thought this shit was just me going through this. This is crazy.
Mm-mm.
She's
It really
literally
is there.
looking in the mirror at me. This is my story. Her story is my story. My story is her story. It might be in different scenarios, but it was so similar.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer of things happen for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
All the things that you have said, I went through too. I didn't go to jail, but
Hmm.
I be, cursing niggas out down the road. Look at your stupid ass. What the
Yep.
fuck is you doing? I could have killed you.
Yep.
Or, cursing niggas out and
Yep.
just always got a fucking
Yep.
attitude and just mean and
Yep.
just miserable and just was just like, damn man, I'm losing myself for a fucking dollar.
For a
But I
dollar.
kept pressing on
Hmm.
because, it's not always about me. Like I said,
Hmm.
I'm the sole provider of
Hmm.
my family, so I had to keep pressing on.
Yes.
But I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason because it's like maybe that accident was God's way of showing me. Get your behind out there, damn truck. Now I've been trying to show you for the past
Yep.
couple of years to get out, but you ain't
Yep.
listening.
You
So
ain't listening.
maybe I have to let something catastrophic happen to
Yep.
you in
Yep.
order for you to get your ass out that damn truck.
And that's how I
I
be.
ain't gonna let you die,
Hmm.
but we gonna put it in your mind that yeah, I think this
Hmm.
might. I need to show her this might be it.
Yep. Let's shake up her world because she's too comfortable right now.
Yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah.
I agree. A lot of times we're too complacent in our
Mhm,
situation. And you know,
mhm,
it's not always our path. Maybe God got something better or different, or a different direction for us. But the signs is always there, but we're moving, constantly on the move. Bills, bills, bills. This got
mhm.
to be done. We don't take the time to actually slow down and listen. There is power in silence. I love to say that.
Absolutely is.
So I want
Absolutely.
to say I condone you for your strength. I am super, super apologetic for the things that happened to you. Something else that you said in your blog today was, you work so hard to get where you're at, build, get this truck, be an owner operator, be a boss, and then in a matter of seconds, boom, it can be taken away
Mm-hmm.
from you. So
Absolutely.
I can just, I could
Absolutely.
just imagine, your where you're at in everything,
Yeah.
mentally, physically, financially, that puts a burden and a toll on a person's mental space, emotional space, on their pockets, because you're not expecting to wake up today and say, well, damn, somebody gonna tear my truck up today. I'm about to take a loss. Nobody ever, expect those type
Expect
of
that.
things. So it's like life be life, honey. And I can understand and I can relate. So I do commend your strength. I send you healing energy. For those of you who are listening, hopefully you can take something from Val, the trucking goddess story. Before we go, though, I have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, you're known as the trucking goddess. And even after all this, you're still inspiring folks. What keeps you going and what's next for Val?
Well, what keeps me going is the strength that I receive from my man's above.
Okay.
Like I said, I believe in things happening for a reason. And I came home after everything, and I was like, "Well, Lord, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I pay this? How am I maintain?"
Mhm,
And I just gave him all of my problems,
mhm.
and he's been giving me the answers to everything. I have not had a job, but money is just coming out of the woodwork. When
I
I have
know
to
that's
pay a
right.
bill, I'm wondering how I'm gonna pay it. And 2 days before it paid, boom, just enough money to pay that bill.
Won't he
You
do it?
know, and it's just coming from out of nowhere. That's why I feel like this was God telling me, get out of that truck. I got you, queen.
Yes.
Get out of that truck. I got you. I'm going to guide you through however long it takes. I got you.
Yes.
So I have gotten my strength from the Lord above. And yeah, I just feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. As far as, what I'm going to do next, I still love trucking. Like it was a passion of mine. I love what I do. I don't know, you know, who knows? I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna never get back in the truck because you just
Mhm.
don't never know.
Mhm.
But my plan is not to get back in that truck.
But you never know.
But if I have to, hell, I'll go be one of them dispatchers. But I'm gonna be that dispatcher that understands
That
my
changes
driver.
the
Why?
game.
Because I sat in their shoes before. I
Mhm.
sat in their seat before.
Mhm.
That's what they need. They need truck
Drivers.
drivers that have retired from the
Yes.
road
I
to
agree.
come in and school these newbies and help them to get money and stuff like that. And we won't be such assholes as,
Mhm.
as they were
Mhm.
because we understand the
Understand
game. We understand that
from
they
both
tired and
sides.
they couldn't get up to get that fucking load there on
Right.
time.
From
We're
both
not gonna be
sides.
cursing them out and making them tired and hating life
Mhm.
because we was there.
Yes.
So that's pretty much what I want to do. Either like do some dispatching or, you know, buying a couple of trucks, putting drivers in them, dispatching them, brokering, something that's still in the logistics industry, just not consist of me driving behind that seat anymore.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And long as you keep that CDL clean and good standing, baby, you can always
Mm-hmm.
jump in that truck. Shit, a year from now,
Yep,
2 months from now, 5 years from now, you can always jump back in that truck. And no matter what part of the world you are in, you consider yourself having a job. That CDL, baby, that's the money sign. That's the golden ticket. You can never go
mm-hmm.
broke when you got a CDL. You can always fall back on that. So I love that for you
Absolutely.
real bad. What would you say to another lady trucker who's feeling scared to reclaim the wheel after a bad wreck?
Um, well, I would say, trust in the Lord, man. Give all the glory to God, man. And just know that he got you and you'll have the strength. But me as a woman know, the things that we have to do as a woman, the things, we have to take care of people. We got to take care of
Hmm.
ourselves. So if you have to get back in that truck, sis, go on and get back in that truck.
Mm-hmm.
But this time when you get back in that truck, get in that truck, save all your money, work as hard as you can, and as long as you can, and take that money and go invest it in something else, so you won't have to get back in that truck again. But
Yes,
make
ma'am.
trucking work for you.
Yes.
You don't let that truck run you. You run that truck.
What Diamond? What was it? Diamond. Make the money. Don't let the money make you. Please. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So y'all, if that wasn't a testimony, I don't know what it was. Val didn't just survive the crash. She rewrote her entire route. That's not weakness. That's strength, dressed in scars and lessons. To every driver listening right now, feeling like life hit the brakes on you, remember this. You can rebuild, refuel, and reclaim the whole damn load. Salute to you, Val. Keep your crown high and your lane clear, sis. Let them know, let the people know where they can find you and support your journey.
Y'all can hit me up on any platform, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all Val the Trucking Goddess on all platforms.
All right, Val. Thank you, cousin, for checking in. We appreciate you real bad. We love you.
For having me.
10-4, cousin.
Thank y'all.
Yes. See, when we out here in these trucking streets, especially solo, we already carry weight that nobody sees. And I ain't talking about no freight either. I'm talking the weight of pressure, bills, expectations, that everything feels like it's depending on you getting that load there on time. But let me tell you something about what happens after the crash, even a minor one. It's like the weight multiplies. Now you're dealing with fear, flashbacks, insurance calls, repairs, bills, and people wondering if you still got it. And it don't help when folks care more about what happened to the truck than what happened to you. Let's be real. It's heavy, and most drivers don't unpack it. Healing just ain't physical. Now let's get into the backseat breakdown. Now let's talk about the healing part. You ain't gonna always have time to heal properly either. And ain't no paid time off when you own a truck. Bills gonna keep rolling, even when your rig don't. But here's the truth, cousin. The body might be bruised, but it's your spirit that needs attention. And if you don't check in with yourself emotionally, you'll find yourself back on the road, but broken on the inside. Let's talk about being a woman in a man's world. Let's not act brand new. Now, we already know the industry don't roll out the red carpet for a female driver. So when a lady goes through something like a major accident, the whispers start real quick.
She probably shouldn't be out there alone. Maybe she was distracted. Told y'all, women can't handle no big truck.
But Val? Nah, she ain't just a driver. She's a solo owner-operator who's been holding it down for years. And even after an accident that would have ended some folks, she's still here, still 10 toes down, still a trucking goddess. You can't teach that kind of resilience. That's royalty under pressure. I just had to take a moment to break that down because what Val survived was not just metal to metal. It was life trying to shake her purpose. And guess what? It failed. This part of the show is Honeyhive Check-In, where we hear from a few of our cousins for them calling into the hotline about venting or getting it off their chest, or just simply sending us some motivational energy. Let's hear from our very first cousin, Corey.
Okay, this is kind of exciting. First of all, I love your show. I love what you do. I've been following you for a little bit now. You actually were one of the ones that popped up when I was searching for a specific company that I now work with. And similar to the reason why you left, this is the reason why I left. I'm not going to really say too much. I'll just say the word Hebrew slave, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, my name is Corey.
I know who you talk about.
I'm calling out of Dallas, Texas. That's where I'm based. But I'm actually originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to the Fofo.
Shouts out.
And
ATL.
I really just wanted to get something off my chest. I just watched the episode with you and Maddie Daddy, and you said a lot of inspirational things. And one of the things you asked us, and you asked us to call the hotline for, was if there was a reason that we were in trucking. Like, what's the reason that we're doing this? And for the longest, it was just to make money. I also really have this very like undying creative aspiration to be an entertainer and do music, and that costs money. So I originally wanted to get into this to fund my album, but like, as you know, with that stupid company that runs you like a Hebrew slave, quote unquote, you don't get to do much of anything except for just kind of be a zombie and just get yelled at for going 6 minutes over your 10-hour break. But I don't know what this turned into. I thought I was asking for advice. I guess I'm venting, a little bit of both. I'm just happy to be here on this episode if I make it. And yeah. Okay, so I guess the question is, what would you suggest that I do? I'm about ready to go, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? You already know what time it is. It's no better in other terminals for me, at least. I'm also doing like a personal account that turned into a dedicated, that turned into OTR, that turned into local, that turned into this, that turned into that. So, like, what would you suggest should be the next game plan? Should I stay and stack, or should I be like, fuck this, find something else? Because at the end of the day, I'm all about my peace, and I feel like that's where I'm leaning. But I just wanted to know your perspective on it. That's all. Again, I'm happy to be on the episode, and shout out to you. You're doing great work out here.
Nice. Shout out to our favorite cousin, Corey. You made it to the episode on the backseat with Lady Luck. So you tickled me quite a few times in your voicemail. Yes, I know the company you talk about, honey. Um, you ain't gonna say the name, but I'm gonna say it. He talked about Martin, sorry ass. And we actually spoke about Martin earlier in the show with Val the trucking goddess. So it's funny that you brought them up. Um, as far as you making that transition, listen, Bookie, I can only give you so much advice. You know what's best for you. You know your story better than me. So I can't give you like 100% on what you should do with your life. I don't know your circumstances as it pertains to finances, like your living situation, your bills, stuff like that. Those are the things that you should take into consideration first before you make a move. And I always say, make sure your plan got plans. All right. Get you a game plan mapped out. Make sure you have something lined up before you walk away. That was my thing. When I walked away from Martin, I for sure had some shit lined up. So let's say I walked away. This is just an example. Let's say I walked away on that Thursday, Bookie. I was starting orientation for my next job on Monday, type shit. Line you some shit up, okay, before you walk away, because you want the money to keep flowing in, okay, Corey. That's like the best piece of advice that I can give to you. And I know it's all about peace because that was my thing, baby. I couldn't take it no more. I had to get the fuck on, type shit. And my peace, it was all about my peace for me. So follow your heart. Do what you feel is best for you. If you feel like you should stick around just a little bit longer to finance your goals and your dreams, then do that. But if you feel like you're at your wits end and you just absolutely cannot take anymore, then take some steps towards moving forward, towards letting it go. It's okay to let go. Like my girl Val said, it's okay to let go. So that is what I have for you. That's the advice that I have for you. Hopefully, this helps. Thank you for calling into the hotline. Moving forward, let's hear from another one of our cousins who hit the hotline.
Okay. I don't know you, never met you before, but I am a 64-year-old guy from Orlando, Florida, and I follow you on YouTube. I'm no longer driving anymore. I came down with Parkinson's.
Oh.
I wasn't able to continue my career in trucking. I've been driving for 35 years. I feel your pain. I know how it is to be out down the road, to be lonely. But you can't give up. You are too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed,
All right.
too legit to quit.
Okay.
So you keep your head up. Haters gonna hate. I love your content. I can relate to you. You talk about dispatchers, driver deal. Keep your head up. You do this.
But now he listening to Luck in the background. That's what's Shouts out to you, cousin. You did not leave your name, so I'm not for sure who you are, but I appreciate you for your support, your encouraging words. I appreciate you for checking out the channel and joining the tribe. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us, and we love that for you real bad. Anywho, guys, if you have something you would like to get off your chest, call the Honeyhive hotline. You just never know. You might be aired on our next episode. If you would like to sponsor the next show of the Backseat with Lady Luck, hit me up on the hotline. If you got a product, a brand, a service, or a business that's built for the road, made for the culture, or speaks to the hustle, then this is your moment to shine. The Backseat with Lady Luck is where real truckers, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and everyday hustlers pull up to talk real life, legacy, and leveling up. Sponsorship spots are now open for the next episode. And this is your chance to get your brand in front of loyal tribe members, content creators, and goal getters who stay tapped in and tuned in. No matter if you're repping gear, tea services, dispatch training, a food brand, or your own podcast. If it's real, I'll help you push it. To sponsor the next episode, email me at ladyluckproductions@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at lady_luck333_ or hit the Honeyhive hotline at 943-267-1758. Let's partner up and let this mic work for both of us. Recovery don't come with a roadmap, and sometimes the detour becomes the destiny. Val reminded us today that you can be broken and still divine. You can lose control and still take the wheel back. It ain't about how bad you crash. It's about how strong you reclaim your route. So to every driver out there who feels like life hit you head on, just know you ain't total. Baby, you're just being rebuilt for your next mission. All right, gang, this has been another episode with Riding in the Backseat with Lady Luck. And we still driving that conversation. I'm going to catch y'all on the next episode. 10-4.